Good afternoon. Some of you already um, saw me earlier, but I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Keith Rinaldi. I'm from the United States, particularly New England, and even more particularly Rhode Island. Um, Small state. We're very proud. So I'm representing the University of Rhode Island. We are a state flagship school, land grant and sea grant school. And we are lucky enough to partner with TU Braunschweig and the Media Lab. And thank you to the Project House for helping make this possible. And I also want to acknowledge Emerging Tech Labs. And I would like Anna to be able to say a little bit about some of the projects that they're working on before we get into our agenda for the day.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Um, so I'm part of a new joint project here in Lower Saxony. It's called Die digitale Lehre Hub Niedersachsen. And the Emerging Tech Lab is one part of it. And it aims to identify new technologies who are coming to the university in future. So with foresight, and we try to test them and discuss them and identify scenarios for future technologies so that the universities are well prepared for new development of technologies and can engage proactive with them when they arrive. So thank you, Keith.
Excellent. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. We're going to do one quick tech check because what we wanted to do today as part of Future Spaces is we want to transport ourselves over to Rhode Island, where I have my colleague, Ryan Smith, who's our coordinator of what we call our launch lab. And Ryan is going to give us a tour of our multiple labs that we have in our university library. So it's an interesting setup. We'll talk more about that, but I want to just do a tech check. Ryan, can you hear me? There might be an issue. Um, Sorry, we're just making sure we have a good connection with the US right now. I think we'll have Brian. So he can't
Hello,
hear.
hello.
Oh, we can hear you.
Check, check. Can you hear me? Excellent. Excellent. All right. Thank you, Keith. Sorry about that. Flying a little blind this morning, no sound on my end, but it's really great to be here with you all this morning. My name is Brian Smith. I'm the coordinator here in the URI Launch Lab here this morning at the University of Rhode Island, coming to you live. Really excited to be joining you virtually today, not just to talk about our future-facing spaces, but to actually show you them and move through them live. Here at URI, our library innovation labs include several core spaces that support creative learning, content production, and emerging technologies. So I'm going to take a quick walk through them. I have us on a little podium here, and we're going to take a little quick walk through together. And as I go from room to room, if Keith wants to jump in and talk about some of our spaces, I'm going to share the screen in a minute. But we'll start here where I am right now. This is the Launch Lab. This is our central innovation and entrepreneurship hub. So this is where students come to get support on creative or business ideas, building prototypes, pitch decks, launching campaigns, social ventures. We work with students from every major. And this lab is really designed to be flexible and accessible. It's home to our student staff team and our innovation coach. And in here, we offer peer consulting, workshops, and programming throughout the semester. We've supported really anything in student projects from wearable health devices to food startups. This lab is really where the ideas take off. So I'm going to just show you all a little bit of our lab here. So as I said, this is sort of the entrepreneurship hub where students come if they're interested in starting a business. We've got workstations for all our different students and things that they work on here.
Just to let people know,
All right.
Brian can't hear our audio right now. So
So
he's
I'm going to take us next to the XR lab in the media equipment hub. In the meantime, I'm going to share my screen to our slideshow if Keith wants to jump in and talk a little bit more about the launch lab and what we do here.
all right. So thank you all for bearing with us while Brian can't hear anything. So we're just communicating over text. But what you just saw again was one of our 6 lab spaces, and we exist within the university library. And the idea of existing in the university library is that libraries of the future need to rethink their space and their service, because with the digitization of books, it's leaving more room. And also, literacy, and the idea of literacy is more than the reading and writing. It is the understanding how to communicate with the technology and equipment that we have. And the library is supposed to be a place for a low barrier of entry and many resources. So we have resources like mentors. We have resources like equipment that people ordinarily couldn't get their hands on to start making their ideas a reality. We also have materials, and you'll see some of those examples when Brian gets to his next location, which I believe he is at. You ready?
All right. So we've made it now. This is our second lab space. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen here for a moment so you can see. There we are. Excellent. So this here is our XR lab, short for extended reality. This is where students experiment with virtual and augmented reality platforms. They can kind of take part in immersive storytelling through our VR systems and interactive design. We've run some projects in here with computer science, international teams, and even film media students, as you'll be able to see when I show you the room a little bit more. But what's also exciting about this space is it's home to our media equipment hub. So it's a resource where students can borrow cameras, tripods, lighting kits, audio gear. We also use this area for professional headshots, product photography, and other visual content creation. So this is sort of a hands-on, student-driven environment supporting both high-tech exploration and real-world media production. So here, I'll show you around here a little bit. So here we have our XR VR goggle stations with these TVs. And as I pan a little over this way, you can see our photography setup. And then over in the corner there, that's where we keep the media equipment that we use to rent out. We've got collaborative spaces here for the students to work on their projects. And then over here, Keith can talk about this, but this is actually a machine that is going to be in our makerspace, which I will take you to in just a few minutes. So the next stop on our tour is going to be the audio media lab. So it's actually right around the corner, and it's sort of coexists with the XR lab. So I'm just going to take you over there right now.
And while he's walking, so we call that the XR labs. While there's virtual reality equipment, um, we also listened to our students, and they wanted more of studio space. They wanted lighting, they wanted backdrops. So what we did was we bought equipment and we listened to them and we invested in their interests. And so that room became multimodal. It became, we move it around for
All
whatever
right,
they
welcome
need.
to the Audio Media Lab. This is a space designed for storytelling, content creation. This is where students can produce podcasts, do voiceover, sound design, work on their content. We have community members that host podcasts in here. We have student athletes who host podcasts in here. all about building students' brands and helping them create what they want to do. So maybe it's part of their project, maybe it's part of a product that they're working on. We have professional microphones, mixers, editing stations. Really, this lab is to help students gain a hands-on level of technical skills while also being able to share their stories, whether it's for class, it's just a passion project, or as I said, an entrepreneurial venture. So I'm going to show you just some of the microphones and equipment that we have here.
And now, this is some entry-level equipment. However, it's easy to use. It's at
Blackout
low.
curtains as well because it can get quite bright and sunny in here. So we want to make sure that the students, when they're recording their stuff, have ample lighting. And of course, they can move some of the lighting that we have in the XR lab as well. The next stop I'm going to take you to is the makerspace. I'm going to put the slideshow back up if Keith wants to talk a little bit more about the makerspace specifically before we go in there.
Great. I'll introduce the makerspace in a moment. Again, it's some easy to use equipment that students started making podcasts, but the interest grew and more departments wanted access. So we started buying mobile microphones and distributing mobile microphones, and I can catalog those because we're a library and you can check them out like a library book. But now you can check out cool equipment to get your podcast off the ground or get your YouTube station off the ground. And we're finding that to generate interest for other products and services, low level YouTubes, podcasts, wonderful start. That's where they're starting to get their customer discovery underway as well. Produce content, get your word out.
All right. Screen here. All right. Now we have entered the makerspace. So this is our makerspace. This is URI's hands-on creation zone. It includes 3D printers, laser cutters, vinyl cutters, CNC tools, t-shirt creation. Students can use this lab to turn digital designs into physical objects, from architecture models and jewelry to business signage, robotics, prototypes of anything that they're looking to do. What makes this space really special is how much students drive the learning process. It's about, building, improving, iterating. It's a mindset that we're cultivating for future-focused learners, thinkers, and doers. So I'm going to show you around a little bit in here. There's no students here yet because it's quite early on this side, but
And you're seeing a nice.
So again, students can come in here and prototype. You get a lot of fashion in here.
That is a dark room we built so we can burn our own screens for screen printing. So if you want a brand, it's been a very nice addition so students can make
printers.
hundreds.
See some examples of the samples that come out of here.
We have
It's the
resin
end of the year,
printers.
so a lot of students have actually been picking up their work. But this place is primarily student run. Students manage a lot of the functions here. They're cross-trained on different machinery, and no matter who comes in, there's usually somebody here that can actually help do something from start to finish. If the student comes in, doesn't know how to do something, or needs a little help, or is even just an expert, but they need a set of plans. So that's sort of our makerspace. I'm going to take us back to the launch lab. But as I do, I would also like to mention two of our other spaces that we have, the Knit and Wear Lab and the Think Lab. So these are specialized creative and technical spaces within the broader innovation labs. The Knit and Wear Lab is in partnership with textiles, fashion merchandising, and design, as well as the College of Engineering. The machine is actually located in the library so that it can be this cross-disciplinary use. Provides students with access to an industry standard knitting machine and digital software to prototype wearable tech, fashion garments, sustainable textiles, craftsmanship with innovation, really. And the Think Lab is also located in the library. It's more of an ideation space, design thinking for brainstorming, planning, collaborative thinking. We have big whiteboards on the walls, modular furniture, not a lot of technology distractions. It really encourages students to map out ideas and concepts before transitioning into the more production-heavy spaces like the makerspace or launch lab. I like to say here at URI, you can rent a study room for 3 hours, but you can use the Think Lab for 3 days. It's really that kind of larger scale project that you want to work out before you get it to the next level. So together, all these labs really support the conceptual and tactile stages of innovation. I did also want to mention as well, on my way back to the lunch lab here, the virtual space that we've been developing with TU Braunschweig. So I'm sure Keith has talked about it in his presentations over there, but Cyber Lab is what we're sort of working on as a digital workspace for cross-university collaboration, sort of born out of our shared experience during the Cyber Festival. And it's grown to be a flexible platform that we want global students to be able to co-create. Using these tools, we can prototype new ideas, exchange cultural perspectives, and work on things from storytelling, tech design. I think it's just a really powerful way to break down the barriers of geography and help bring students into international collaboration. So with that, I think that pretty much wraps up our little live tour. Launch Lab, XR Lab, Audio Media Lab, Makerspace, Global Cyber Lab. Across all of these spaces, our mission is really simple. We want to empower students to think big, experiment, and really engage with future technologies. So whether that's digital, physical, or somewhere in between. So that concludes my portion here. I'm happy to answer any questions. I know Keith is going to be putting some in the chat. Look forward to hearing what you all have to say.